Well, it is 12:31, so I think I see people still joining, but I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. So we are recording. And for those of you that don't know me, I am Sarah Velasquez. I am the Communications Core Director for the K-INBRE. If you have not heard from me, you probably will hear from me, and I will be asking you to fill out a survey of some sort. So please do that for me, or I will bother you until you do. If you do not know about our social media, we have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and then we have a website also. If you haven't visited our website, please do so. It has lots of good information on there, including information about the symposium that is coming up in January that I hope all of you will be able to participate in. And that is a good segue into our presentation today. Today, Isak from iPoster will talk about the iPosters and how to make them, and I will hand it off to Isak.
Thank you, Sarah, and hi everybody. Congratulations on having your abstract approved for this great project and event, and thank you to K-INBRE for, I believe this is like the 6th year we've worked with you guys. You guys are terrific, and we really enjoy working with you, so thank you. So I'll just jump into it. Please let me know if you can't see my screen. But here we have the letter of invitation. Now I'm 90% sure that everybody at this stage. Oh, sorry about that. Selected the wrong one. Here we go.
Yes, there we go.
Thanks, Sarah. So where was it? Right. So the letter of invitation. The letter of invitation, I believe, has been sent out to everyone. Now, it contains some very useful information. I definitely recommend you read it from A to Z. But the most important thing in receiving your letter of invitation is checking out the domain name to log in, your username, and your password. And also, deadline January 3rd. Bunch of useful links here, but they are on the website as well once you've logged in. So using this information, you're going to want to click the login page and punch in your details right here and click submit. No need to download anything, but we'll be taken to the welcome page here now, and you'll notice the brief but important system requirements. You can use whatever web browser you'd like. I'm using Edge right now. I recommend Edge or Firefox, but we definitely support Chrome and Safari as well. Please don't use Internet Explorer. I think Microsoft themselves have phased that browser out as well, so they want everybody to use Edge anyway. But this welcome page is very brief. It contains tutorials, YouTube tutorials, that is, quick guides in English, Spanish, and Japanese, and a brief FAQ page. So definitely check those out or bookmark them so you have them during the creative process. And then since we have an office in Europe, we definitely adhere to GDPR privacy laws. So if you want to read up more about how we handle the information that we receive about you from K-INBRE, you can click there. But next, you want to click the big green button, choose your template. And these are the 6 different templates that we are offering K-INBRE 2022 iPoster authors. They vary, and this is arguably a quite important stage here, since we're well aware that the vast majority of our end users, they don't sit down with a blank iPoster template and conduct research from scratch. Everybody is copying and pasting, and especially during the pandemic, we've pivoted hard into make life as easy for those users as possible. However, you'll see that these templates vary in the amount of content boxes and where they're located. So if you have a thesis, for example, just a simple intro, method, analysis, and conclusion, you might want to choose a 4 content box vertical. Whereas if you have some dedicated multimedia you'd like to incorporate and dedicate a whole content box to that, you might want to choose a 6-1 or even a 7-1. Two of these templates, template number 5 and 6, they offer a dedicated slideshow function. So for this demo, I'll choose one of these. I'll choose template number 5, just in order to show you all of the variations. The other content or the other templates, excuse me, are way simpler than that, or than this here template. So you'll see here right off the bat, let's collapse this menu for now. Right off the bat, we're greeted with kind of a blank template that would perhaps remind you of maybe an academic paper poster that you'd see on site. And that's on purpose. We don't want to reinvent the wheel, and you'll see what I'm talking about once we visit last year's K-INBRE gallery. But firstly, you're going to want to enter in your iPoster title or your poster title. I'll just call it Isaac's poster. Your names should be preloaded, but it is editable. So you can just cross your T's and dot your I's. And then the institutions down here, you'll just type those in. And for the content box headers, that's usually what I do next. I suppose you could just do intro, method, analysis, discussion, and conclusion. And now you'll see these content boxes here, and you see the one in the bottom right-hand corner. Now this one, you can choose to make a regular text field, like all of the other ones here, or you can make it an image slider. So for example, if you want to upload PowerPoint slides, or if you have high resolution, nice imagery, this would be the appropriate section to add your slides or your high res images to. If you want them to fit snug into this rectangular content box, they should be 960 times 360 pixels. But I always recommend authors to go as large as possible, up to 1920 times 1080 pixels, because authors, attendees of the K-INBRE gallery that'll check out your poster and explore your research, they'll know to click on every image that they see, essentially, to blow it up to its full size. So we'll see what that looks like a little bit later. Now, we've done our content box headers. Now we want to just go to our Word document and transfer all of our text. Simple copy and paste. So let's go to my Word document here. I'm using my second screen, so you guys can't see it, but I'll just copy and paste all of my text into here. The worst thing that can happen during this process, especially if your text contains a bunch of alien formatting, is that you might have to re-bold or italic or change the font size. I stripped all of this formatting from this text just now. And I recommend you do that because it'll go to the default font size, which is clear enough in my humble opinion. So now that we have our text distributed on our poster, let's try to add some multimedia. Let's say we want to add an image in between these two paragraphs in our discussion content box. So we're going to want to explore the toolbar up here that only pops up really when we click on a content box in editing mode. Now, I won't talk about the bottom row and I won't talk about the middle row. They're pretty self-explanatory. You know, you have your bolds and italics, your bullets, your font colors, but it's the top row I want to talk about, beginning with this one here, add image. So all we need to do is click on the add image. We'll go to our folder. And I always recommend my end users to gather all of the imagery. Maybe you have an MP4 file or a .mov, a video file, perhaps an MP3 file that you want to add as a narration. create a folder on your desktop and just call it My iPoster K-INBRE 2022 and gather all your information there. And it makes it really easy to just drag and drop everything into there. So this is a GIF actually. So once it's uploaded, we'll see we can wrap our text around it as well. But let's just click OK. And our GIF is looping nicely. And let's go to our analysis content box. So we've added an image, but let's just add one more for good measure. Some field work, like so. Now, let's say we want to add a video in our introduction content box. We'll click on Insert HTML5 video. The video formats are .mov or .mp4. I should say, before we totally abandon that section of the presentation, I should say that the images should be GIF, PNG, or JPEG. But let's move on here. Insert video. I've already uploaded a video of a bunny, but let's click here, video uploader. Actually, I can just choose this. So here we have that resolution is terrible, excuse me. But our video is playing nicely. So we do actually host our own videos on our own server or on our Cloudinary service. So for those of you that used us last year, you might remember that we usually required you to upload the video to YouTube or Vimeo to later embed on your poster. And so we've built this function instead because we know a lot of you and a lot of other end users from other clients have embargoed and sensitive research. So you don't want to upload them to Vimeo and YouTube, which is absolutely valid and fair. So you don't have to worry about the security of our web hosting here. So we've uploaded our images and we've uploaded our video. Now let's explore. I'll insert a couple of line breaks here for good measure. Let's explore the HTML5 audio function. Now you can upload a snippet of audio to a specific paragraph or content box, or you can upload, well, they're not mutually exclusive, and you can also add a MP3 narration to your poster in its entirety. So we'll do both of them and I'll show you the difference, but we've added our MP3 file here. And I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I'll pause because that was very disruptive. So that works fine, especially if you have perhaps a complicated data set or graph that you'd like to explain in your own words and don't want to have a bunch of text, because after all, it is a visual medium. However, I should say that there is no limit to the amount of text or content your iPoster can hold. So that should definitely be said. But we've added our MP3 file here now. So it's placed in our discussion content box. Let's go to our image slider and let's upload some nice high resolution imagery. So you'll see what that looks like. Let's do this one. And let's do this one. And while I'm doing this, please write down any questions you guys might have, and we'll address them at the end. Let's upload our last one here. Here we go. Great. So let's see if we can do something else. So we also support iframes, I should say. This is a new function that we actually launched last week in preparation for the American Geophysical Union's fall meeting next week. So I'm not really sure if you want to embed an iframe, it needs to be one of our approved ones. So please contact support if you have further questions about this. They know more than I do at this point, but I will do my research. But that should be possible. So if you know anything about iframes, and if you want to embed them onto your iPoster, please experiment with this functionality. And if it's doing something that you don't like, please contact us. And I'll give you the support address at the end of the webinar, but it is also in your letter of invitation. So we're still here in our method content box. Let's insert a couple of line breaks. We've done image, we've done iframe, we've done video, we've done sound. Now, if we click on this Greek symbol here, you can do your own mathematical formulas in LaTeX. So the default one, I believe this is the quadratic equation. So I'll just add that, and we can increase the size of it as well. So you'll see what that looks like when we preview our poster. So feel free to use that if that's necessary or relevant as well. And then our last one is insert symbol. I don't know how many of you will find this useful, but these are just UTF-8 symbols that could be useful, I suppose. So that is that. Let's now exit out of this and expand the right-hand toolbar. Now, up at the top right, you'll see the deadline message. Please note that you must publish before January 3rd. We'd really like you to respect that deadline, since we're going to do quality control of all the iPosters January 4th or 5th in the K-INBRE gallery. So if you want us to check your poster out to make sure that everything is displaying properly, please make sure that you've hit that publish button before then. So unless K-INBRE says so, which I'm 100% sure that they won't, you can still edit your poster. Excuse me, you can still edit your poster after publishing it, right? So you can click this publish button, which is down here at the bottom of the right-hand menu. So let me just show that. Click publish. Here we go. Oh, right. I accidentally double-clicked. Publish. Congratulations, your iPoster has now been published. And this was my point. You can keep on working on your iPoster even though you've published. Just log in again, make your changes, add another image, and then click save. And then your published poster will be updated to the brand new version. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's start from the top. So here we have the deadline message. We'll post any other pertinent information here, but I don't think this will change. And please have your poster finalized by January 13th at 1 p.m. in your local time zone. So the first button here in the right-hand menu is called Design Your iPoster. So let's click on that. Here is if you want to, for example, well, this whole section is all about aesthetics and personalization. So you can insert a background image. So let's use this forest, for example. And if you don't want to use a background image, you can use a background color with a gradient as well. You can also edit the side content box and middle content box header backgrounds, and you can universally change the color of your content boxes and the text therein. So experiment with that. Perhaps you want to make it your school colors. So this has all to do about aesthetics. Next, this green audio button here, this is the one I was talking about when briefly mentioning if you want to do a narration that covers your entire poster. Not a specific content box where you want to explain a data set or graph, but if you want a narration button at the bottom of your poster, you can record yourself in the software or you can upload an MP3 file. But let me just record something briefly. Click to start. Allow. Test 1, 2, test 1, 2. Click stop, and it'll upload. and you'll have your audio narration attached to your poster now. And you'll see what that looks like once we preview our poster. So our narration has been added. Here, add author info. If you look to the right-hand toolbar or menu, once again, add author info. This is a great section if you have a bunch of co-authors and they have a bunch of institutions. You don't feel that it has room or that it's aesthetically pleasing and it doesn't fit up at the top of your poster where I wrote, Isak Pedolsky, Isak's poster. So here you have total creative freedom and formatting freedom. So if you want to include all the names of your co-authors and their institutions, you could write your own name up here and then et al, or your own name up here and then please click the author info button for more information about my co-authors. The abstract, just the same. If you have an abstract that you want to copy and paste into here, absolutely welcome to. Same with disclosures if you have anything to disclose, and references as well. Now, if you add anything in these here buttons, author info, abstract, disclosures, and references, you'll have those respective buttons at the bottom of your poster in the gallery. If you don't add anything into here, you won't have those buttons at the bottom of your poster. So I'll add the word test to disclosures. I'll add it to references, and I'll add it to author info. So you'll see that we have those buttons at the bottom once we preview. So now moving on in the right-hand menu, let's go to image gallery. Here is where all of the images that you've uploaded to your poster, here's where they'll be located. This is your essentially your iPoster folder filled with your multimedia, well, when it comes to images at least. Now, if you want to perhaps upload all of the imagery that you know that you're going to want to use for your iPoster in your image gallery immediately to then quicker disperse them onto your template, I definitely recommend that. So for example, let's upload a headshot. We'll see that it's in my image gallery. Let's go to the top left-hand corner where it says upload logo here. You can either drag and drop another headshot into here. So we can see our author there. You also have one on the right-hand side. And this time we can just go to gallery and we can select our guy here. So we have two authors, one on each side. You can upload up to 8 images into here. They don't have to be, specifically small or large because they'll automatically adjust to the boundary. But what I do recommend is that they should be square or circular. Otherwise, it'll look squished. So definitely do that. So you can upload 8 apiece. So you can upload you plus 7 co-authors, and you can upload your institutions on the right hand or vice versa. So let's expand our right-hand menu. Now, under image gallery, you have video gallery. It works exactly the same way. We have our bunny video here. You can also upload a new video to quickly distribute it to whatever content box is relevant. Underneath the video gallery button in the right-hand menu, we have support. Once the K-INBRE 2022 gallery goes live, and perhaps you've added a last minute image, scroll down to your thumbnail and check it out, your thumbnail in the gallery. And if it's out of date, just log in and click render thumbnail, and your thumbnail in the K-INBRE gallery should update. Then we have, once again, quick guide, FAQ, cases. These are sample posters from other projects and tutorials. So those are here, as well as your letter of invitation. We also have template settings for those of y'all who select a template with a slideshow. Now, if we regretted our decision to make this bottom right-hand content box a slideshow, we could simply reset slideshow box and make it a regular text field instead, like the other ones. Then print poster. This is something that you can do if you want to save your poster as an offline static PDF document. Now, all of your content is here from A to Z, but being a static offline document means that all of the interactivity is lost. You won't have any expandable or collapsible content boxes. You can see here that the online video is referenced, but it won't be embedded. Our images are here. Our GIF is displaying nicely. And so you can right click this and save it as a PDF. So that option is available to you all. Then we have share poster. You can actually share. This essentially is the same as going up to your web domain toolbar here, where you enter in your web addresses. It's essentially the same thing, but this automatically copies it to the clipboard, so you can copy and paste it, and you can send it to a colleague or co-author. They won't have editing rights. They'll just see your poster. But it doesn't need to be published for you to do this. So this is your own personalized link, and you can share it with whomever. Then we have my settings. This is quite useful. We're only sending the letter of invitation to the main author. And so if you have a bunch of co-authors that you want to collab with, click on my settings and invite them here. So fill in their first name, last name, their email addresses, and a message is optional, but perhaps, hey, do you want to help me out with my poster? So you send them an invite. The system generates an invitation to them. They have their own username and password, so you won't be sharing yours. And then as the admin, you can revoke their access. Creative differences, I suppose. Now, actually, before we go on, let's click preview. I want to show you all this so you know what I'm talking about when I'm going through my settings. So manage co-authors we've done. Also, while we're talking about the letter of invitation, it might be in your spam folder. If you can't find it, it might be in your spam folder or promotional folder if you're using Gmail. So I know there were a lot of KUMC email addresses in there. So it might have ended up in your spam filter. So please check that out. Excuse me. I don't know what this is. I do apologize. My internet speed is atrocious. Anyway, we'll wait on that. So next one, moving down the line here in the My Settings button is contact info. Now, there will be a contact author button at the bottom of your poster. Attendees that want to ask you questions about your research without you being there can simply just start an email correspondence with you. Now, those messages will arrive in the inbox of what essentially is your username, the email that we received from K-INBRE. Now, if you want to reroute those to a personal Gmail account, or if you want to reroute those to a co-author, maybe they're the presenting author, this is where you fix all of that. So enter in the desired email address and then just click the big green button, save your contact information. Next is choose publishing rules. Do you want your iPoster to be available online? This functionality, ever since we launched the Unpublish button, is almost redundant, but your iPoster will by default be online after your meeting. So it will live on in the K-INBRE 2022 gallery. But if you don't want your poster to be there, please change from the default yes to no, and your poster will effectively be hidden in the gallery. But please don't mess with these settings before the conference starts, because I can't tell you how many times I've worked in person meetings, but also online, where authors panic and say, I can't find my poster in the gallery, but I'm 100% sure I've published. 9 times out of 10, this is the case. They've gone out of their way and they've changed from yes to no. Then we have photo rules, choose photo rules. Do you want to display a do not photograph icon next to your poster? The default is no, but you can change it to yes if you want that do not photograph icon there. Obviously, there's no way of enforcing this, just like somebody coming up to your paper poster and snagging a picture on their phone. There's no way of preventing somebody from taking a screenshot, but at least you've conveyed the message. And then the other tab here called Share iPoster is, do you want your poster to be available for sharing? Now, by default, you'll have a Get iPoster button at the bottom of your poster where attendees can essentially email your poster to themselves. Not the K-INBRE gallery in its totality, but your specific poster. Now, if your poster contains embargoed or sensitive research, definitely explore this functionality in hiding your poster. So just click no, but the default is yes. So just so everybody's aware, if you don't want that button there, click no and then save. And then finally, statistics. You can check this out during the meeting or after. That's when it's most relevant, but online views, AKA how many times have people clicked on your poster in the gallery? How many times have people clicked on the Get iPoster button and what was their email address? And finally, how many times have people clicked on Contact Author? What was their email address and what was their message? So you can check out all of that retroactively. Let's see, have we gotten anywhere on this? No. All right, let me do that again. What the heck? All right. Anyway, then moving on. Anyway, I should talk about this preview button. It's very important because when you click on this, and I don't know what's happening to my internet connection, when you click on this, it'll give you the best indication of what your iPoster will look like once published and visible for attendees in the gallery. So do a bunch of work, save, albeit the system auto saves every 4 minutes. So if you lose content somehow, please contact support so we can revert back to a previously saved revision and salvage your content that way. But do a bunch of work and then click preview to just see what it looks like. Enable full screen. Yeah, just check it out and edit and amend from there. And then finally, we have the publish / nowadays unpublish button. So you can publish, and if you want to unpublish it, just click on the button again, and it'll be unpublished and not displayed in the gallery. So that is basically that. Now I'll move over here to last year's K-INBRE iPoster gallery, and we'll take a look at a couple of well-designed posters from last year. This mainly to give you an indication of what the finished product will look like and in what type of context that your research will be shown. We do have a couple of drop-down menus up here at the top. The K-INBRE 2022 gallery is still under construction, but the drop-downs will be up at the top. The design will look the same, so you can filter it this way, find what you're interested in, or find your own poster this way, or you can browse sessions right here. But taking a look at these posters here, let's go into Eric's poster, let it load for a bit. And this is what attendees will essentially do with your poster. They'll check it out. Really do apologize for my slow internet connection here. Right, so they'll be taken to your poster and they'll click on whatever content box they're interested in to bring it up front and center. And I do recommend that if you'll ever use your iPoster as a presentation tool, it really does, and a lot of our clients do this, replace PowerPoint with our system, since you have everything at an arm's length, but you can quickly collapse and go back down and click on whatever you're interested in. So it is iPosters, it is an interactive poster, so please click on whatever you're interested in to bring it up to its full size. These images are quite decent. So the larger, the better, because when you click on them, they will blow up to their full size. Just as I said earlier, this one was quite small. And then looking at the bottom, here we have the buttons we were talking about. So references, Eric has put his references into here. He's got his contact author button, and this is what attendees will use to contact you and start an email correspondence. You got the print function that we've already gone through, and then the get iPoster button. So if I were to type in my email address here, Eric would receive a notice saying that me or my email address received a link to his specific poster. So yeah, I believe that's everything I have. Do we have any questions? Let's see.
Do we have any students this year that are presenting with iPoster for the first time?
Yes, I am.
Does it all seem pretty straightforward to you?
Yeah, the only question I have is about the post or submit. So basically, like January 3rd, we have to have it posted, but we could still edit it till the 13th, correct?
Correct. Yep, that
Okay.
is correct.
We need it submitted by the 3rd so that we can see how many people have logged in and how many have started their posters and kind of what we're working with for the symposium. And then you can keep editing it after, if something else comes up after that.
How do you go about replacing a figure?
That's a great question. So let me show you here. If I wanted to replace it entirely, I would firstly, let's say we want to delete this field work picture. I'd just click on it, and then I'll just click backspace, like so, to delete it. I also go to my image gallery, actually, and I delete it from my image gallery. I find it way easier to be organized here and just, if I know that I won't be using it in my presentation or on my poster, I'll just delete it from the image gallery, so wires don't get crossed. And then let's say instead of the field work, let's go up to the toolbar here, click image, click the upload tab. Let's say we want an image of the bird we found during our field trip, and simply upload it and click OK, and it's there. So there's actually a bunch of stuff you can do accessibility wise in regards to alt text. So if that's relevant, please explore that as well, because it does work with screen readers quite well.
If you were in PowerPoint, many times you can double click on a graph and it'll go to the program that made it, and you can edit it. Is that function available?
No, unfortunately not. I didn't even know that was available in PowerPoint, but that's a good point. If you're uploading any imagery or if you're uploading graphs or data sets, I would make them in the appropriate software, save them, but take a high resolution screenshot of that and then upload it as an image. I think that's the easiest way, yeah.
Thank you.
No worries.
Anybody else? If not, I know it's like after 8 o'clock there for you, Isaac, so.
No problem. Happy to do it. Happy to help. So let me finish off by saying congratulations to everyone once again. It's super useful, especially because you're going to be in this repository, and your iPoster will live on. So well, if you want it to. So please use the audio narration so people can hear you explain your research even though you're not there. And if you have any trouble at all, technical wise with our system, please contact access@ipostersessions.com. Login issues, my background image isn't displaying the way I'd like. Don't hesitate to reach out. I know that that support address is in your letter of invitation. So, but you can make a note of it here as well. access@ipostersessions.com. And now we're inundated with support requests for the New Orleans conference that starts next week. So the response time might be a little longer than usual, but it shouldn't be longer than a day or two. So.
Isaac, I do have 2 other questions that were in the chat. One of them said if they haven't received their login email, who should they contact? So first of all, you should check your junk mail because it could possibly be there. And then if they don't find it there, should they contact you or us?
They can absolutely contact us at access@iPoster. I'll write it out in the chat as well. iPostersessions.com. However, we have shared all of the login credentials with Elizabeth. So I don't know if we're supposed to tag team that, but yeah, you definitely will receive a response if you contact that email address.
The other question is probably one that's better suited for a coordinator, about bullet point versus paragraph style. So I would talk to your coordinator, your mentor, about their poster preferences and what they suggest you do in your poster, because they will probably have a better idea of what they feel is more acceptable for the poster presentation, because either one of them would work just fine for iPosters, right?
So yeah, correct, Sarah. That's right.
So I guess if there aren't any other questions, then thank you, Isaac, for your presentation and for all the good information. This presentation has been recorded, so I will get that up onto our website tomorrow. So if you want to go back and watch it or have any questions, you can certainly go back and watch it on our website. So thank you, everybody, for participating.
Thank you all. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Isaac. Bye-bye.
Bye.